India's soul thrives in its villages, where agriculture beats like a lifeline, sustaining millions of lives. And at the center of this rich tapestry lies an extraordinary initiative, the Rural Horticulture Work Experience Program. This program bridges the gap between textbook knowledge and hands-on farming, creating a transformative journey for young horticulture students. It equips them with real-world skills, entrepreneurial confidence, and a profound connection to rural life. Embracing Mahatma Gandhi's vision that the soul of India lives in its villages, RHWE immerses students in the essence of rural communities, fostering growth, understanding, and collaboration. The RHWE program has 4 main components. Orientation program introduces students to RHWE program. Industrial attachment provides practical exposure to agri-based industries, research centers, and food processing units. Village attachment helps students understand rural farming challenges and develop hands-on experience. All India Study Tour offers nationwide exposure to diverse farming techniques, climate-specific crops, and agri-research institutes. Join us as we explore these 4 components that shaped our journey in the world of horticulture. The Orientation Program. The RHWE program for 2024-25 was inaugurated with great enthusiasm. Respected dignitaries, including Dr. Manish Srivastav, Dean of the College of Horticulture and Forestry, and other esteemed faculty members, emphasized the importance of this initiative for students and rural communities alike. The orientation introduces students to the objectives, structure, and practical aspects of RHWE. During the orientation program, a series of lectures were organized for the students. The first lecture was delivered by Dr. Gaurav Sharma. He gave an inspiring talk on career opportunities in academics and research in horticulture, highlighting the various pathways available for students in this field. Through his personal experiences, Sir motivated students to explore higher education opportunities, pursue specialized research, and envision impactful careers. His emphasis on persistence and passion as keys to success resonated deeply with the students. In the next session, led by Dr. Ghanshyam Abrol, students gained practical exposure to processing of fruit crops. From the importance of post-harvest management to the preparation of value-added products like Aronda candy, the session sparked creativity and entrepreneurial interest among students. Dr. R.K. Singh's lecture on the scope of protected cultivation in the Bundelkhand region highlighted how protected cultivation can revolutionize agriculture. He demonstrated how controlled environments and sustainable practices make high-value crops profitable even in challenging conditions like those here in Bundelkhand. Dr. David Bhaskar's session on marketing linking for entrepreneurship development introduced students to essential strategies for building strong brands and reaching target audiences. In another insightful session, Dr. Ashok Yadav discussed the importance of minor fruits in livelihood generation. He highlighted how hardy crops like jamun, bear, and onla can provide economic stability and sustainability, especially in regions with scarce resources. During an exposure visit to the vegetable research farm, Dr. Saurabh Singh showcased innovative vegetable varieties like Kashi Lalima, highlighting their role in improving food security and supporting local livelihoods. The visit emphasized sustainable practices from seed quality improvement to integrated pest management, inspiring students to adopt these methods in their future ventures. The industrial attachment. This phase of the Rural Horticulture Work Experience Program is a gateway to real-world agricultural practices and industry dynamics. This transformative phase places students in unique environments, allowing them to apply their academic knowledge and gain invaluable hands-on experience. At Dhanuka Private Limited, Anushka, Nikhil, Sachin, Atmanand, and Shivani worked on the project marketing development activities for Purge herbicide. Across various locations, they engaged directly with farmers, learning about their challenges while honing marketing skills tailored to the agricultural sector. Tandara and Surbhi joined Happy Pot Private Limited in Jhansi, where they worked with school children to foster agricultural awareness. By connecting science and farming in relatable ways, they inspired the next generation and emphasized the importance of agriculture in everyday life. At Market Mirchi, Ankit, Aman, Abhishek, and Rakesh bridged the gap between buyers and sellers. They identified potential buyers, contacted sellers, and facilitated seamless transactions. This platform allowed them to develop essential communication and negotiation skills vital for agricultural entrepreneurship. Manish and Alok worked at Begotten Life Science Private Limited in Patna, where they explored the intricate processes of agrochemical production. They gained valuable insights into quality control and innovative solutions essential for modern agriculture. In Lucknow, Shikhar collaborated with the Foundation for Advancement of Science. His work involved creating educational materials that integrated science and mathematics with agriculture. These resources aimed to nurture scientific thinking and capabilities among junior students, laying a strong foundation for future innovation. Thoibi joined Mahemarong Agro Solutions in Thongju, an agri-clinic and agribusiness center promoting sustainable organic farming. Through the Go Organic campaign, she learned about reducing chemical fertilizer misuse and championing sustainable practices in modern farming. At Sahib Seeds and Pesticides Private Limited in Karnal, Chetna explored the world of seed production. She delved into seed testing, tagging, distribution, and marketing strategies essential for delivering high-quality seeds to farmers. In Jaipur, Ankit Dhakar, Manju, Monica, and Rahul collaborated with Tor Agro Biotech Private Limited. They explored the production of organic fertilizers and biochemicals designed to reduce chemical use in agriculture. Their experience underscored the potential of organic solutions in revolutionizing sustainable farming practices. Through these opportunities, students are better equipped to innovate, collaborate, and lead the way toward a brighter, sustainable future for Indian agriculture. The Village Attachment. This phase of the Rural Horticulture Work Experience program brought us closer to the essence of Indian agriculture, immersing us in rural life and hands-on horticultural practices. Assigned to farmers in Bhojla and Nayagav, we studied their cropping patterns, identified areas for improvement, and provided practical recommendations. With the support of local representatives like Amit Kumar, the Gram Pradhan, we efficiently collected data and gained insights into sustainable farming. A key highlight was our visit to KVK Datia, where we witnessed innovative techniques such as air layering in guava, vermicomposting, and azolla cultivation. Some of the key learnings from the village attachment phase.
I observed the fluctuation in prices during festival seasons in Marigold such as Durga Pujas and Diwali. So farmers want varieties that gives maximum yield during these festive seasons.
मैंने देखा कि किसान जो ऑन ग्राउंड चैलेंजेस फेस करते हैं, जैसे कि मौसम सही टाइम पे फेवरेबल कंडीशन में नहीं आता है, वो देखा कि कैसे कैसे उन प्रॉब्लम को फेस किया जाता है।
गुलाब की खेती के बारे में सीखने को मिला, जिसमें सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट हमने प्रूनिंग के बारे में सीखा, जिसमें ये किया जाता है कि जब विंटर का मौसम आता है उसके पहले बड स्वेल होने से पहले हम लोग प्रूनिंग करते हैं।
I got the opportunity to learn the nursery preparation and transplanting in tomato crop. After transplanting, I also learned the process of mulching to maintain moisture.
मैंने सीखा कि किस प्रकार से फार्मर मार्केट की डिमांड के अकॉर्डिंग फसल का चयन करता है और उसके बुआई के समय का निर्धारण करता है ताकि उससे मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट हो सके।
I understood that how successful cultivation can boost local economies and provide farmers an alternative source of income.
We learned about how the fragmentation of land is a major issue among the farmers. We also learned that what problems are farmers going through and what all solutions we could provide to them.
ये जानने को मिला है कि टमाटर की खेती कैसे की जाती है और उसमें स्टैकिंग कैसे की जाती है, मल्चिंग हो गई और उसके नर्सरी मैनेजमेंट कैसे किया जाता है।
My village was Nayagaon, which is located near Park Colony. My village attachment experience helped me inculcate values like communication skills and also helped me solve the problems of the farmers.
It is how marginal farmers are always misled by local seed and pesticide sellers, and they always use their own traditional process and don't want to डेवलपर्स हैं वो भी इनका कुछ ज़्यादा ही फ़ायदा उठाएं।
हमने यह सीखा कि रेडिश का कल्टीवेशन उसका सोइंग से लेकर के हार्वेस्टिंग तक कैसे किया।
This phase not only enhanced our technical skills but also deepened our respect for the farming community, reminding us that the future of Indian agriculture lies in innovation, sustainability, and collective effort. All India Study Tour. It is a vital component of the Rural Horticulture Work Experience Program, which offers students an unparalleled opportunity to explore diverse agricultural practices across the country. From the citrus groves of Nagpur to the vibrant strawberry fields of Mahabaleshwar, this journey enriches their academic and practical knowledge. The ICAR Central Citrus Research Institute, Nagpur, established in 1965 under the leadership of Dr. Dilip Ghosh, is a premier institute driving advancements in citrus research and development. During our visit on 23rd December, we observed its remarkable contributions, including the development of 9 high-yielding citrus varieties, such as Nagpur Mandarin Seedless 4, and the introduction of Ailmau rootstock for commercial use. CCRI plays a pivotal role in positioning India as the third largest citrus producer globally. As the National Citrus Germplasm Repository, it conserves diverse varieties and develops cutting-edge techniques like shoot-tip grafting, microbudding, and biological pest control using pheromone traps and predator mass multiplication. The Virology Lab investigates virus infestations and fruit drops, while the Entomology Lab studies pest life cycles. The Tissue Culture Lab excels in advanced grafting techniques, and the Post-Harvest Lab creates value-added products and showcases equipment for citrus processing. Practical demonstrations on orchard management and microbudding highlighted CCRI's commitment to innovation and excellence in citrus research. The ICAR Directorate of Onion and Garlic Research, established in 1994 and led by Dr. Vijay Mahajan, is a pioneering institute in advancing onion and garlic research. During our visit on 24th December, we gained insights into its significant contributions, including key onion varieties like Bhima Light Red, Bhima Dark Red, and Bhima Raj, and garlic varieties like Bhima Omkar and Bhima Purple. Bhima Shubhra, known as the king of onion, and white onions with high TSS content suitable for processing were highlighted. The institute conserves 93 allium species and conducts trials on disease and pest management and nutritional requirements. We explored innovative storage solutions like rain-out shelters and modified storage structures with ventilated designs alongside equipment such as motorized onion graders and garlic peelers. Mapro Garden, located in Gureghar village near Mahabaleshwar, Maharashtra, is a renowned tourist destination in India's leading strawberry producing region. Managed by Mapro, a food processing company founded in 1959 by Kishore Vora and expanded by Mayur Vora in 1983, the garden showcases the region's agricultural excellence. Mahabaleshwar contributes 85% of India's strawberry output, with 80% consumed fresh. Mapro's fruit processing unit supports local farmers through technical guidance and a commitment to purchasing their produce. The ICAR National Research Center for Grapes, established on 18 January 1997 and led by Director Dr. Kaushik Banerjee, is dedicated to mission-oriented research to enhance grape production and utilization in India. During our visit on 26 December, we observed the center's significant achievements, including the release of 15+ grape varieties like Manik Chaman and Sonal, and over 500 research publications in national and international journals. At the Pesticide Analysis Laboratory, Dr. Bharat demonstrated the use of liquid chromatography for testing pesticide residues, ensuring compliance with maximum residue limit levels for export. We also witnessed the innovative use of drone technology for precise fertilizer application, reducing waste and environmental impact. A field visit with Dr. Prasad Sawant showcased over 500 germplasm accessions and various grape varieties tailored for different regions, emphasizing the center's commitment to advancing grape productivity and addressing industry challenges through research and innovation. The ICAR Directorate of Floricultural Research established on 10th December 2009 under the leadership of Dr. K.V. Prasad, is a key institute promoting floricultural research and enhancing the technological base of floriculture in India. During our visit on 26th December, we gained insights into the DFR's significant contributions, including research in flower seed production, nursery raising, and value-added products like flower drying and essential oil extraction. We explored breeding programs for floral crops such as tuberose, gladiolus, rose, and chrysanthemum, as well as genome editing techniques aimed at improving crop quality and yield. The DFR boasts an impressive collection of floral varieties, including over 150 chrysanthemum varieties. For example, Pallavi, Megha, Swarna, 70 to 80 gladiolus varieties, 40 tuberose varieties, for example, Sayadri Vaman, and 70 to 80 rose varieties. We also witnessed the inauguration of the Administrative, Research and Training Block by Dr. Himanshu Pathak, Director General of ICAR, which underscored DFR's commitment to advancing floricultural research and innovation. The ICAR Central Institute of Fisheries Education, a deemed university for fisheries science in Mumbai. During our visit on 27th December, we learned about its key achievements, including the development of India's first fish vaccine against Aeromonas hydrophila. At the Feed Technology Laboratory, we were introduced to feed analysis techniques, including proximate analysis, crude protein estimation, and lipid estimation. In the Fish Physiology and Biochemistry Laboratory, we observed research on fish physiological and biochemical aspects. The Biotechnology Laboratory showcased advanced techniques such as DNA and RNA isolation, molecular cloning, and gene expression studies. We also visited the Hydroponics Unit, which demonstrated salt-free plant cultivation, highlighting benefits like water conservation and increased yields. The visit concluded at the Aquatic Biodiversity Museum, where we explored exhibits on diverse aquatic species, their habitats, characteristics, and conservation efforts. The ICAR Central Plantation Crops Research Institute, established in 1970 and headquartered in Kasaragod, Kerala, under the leadership of Dr. K.B. Hebbar, is a premier institute dedicated to research on coconut, arecanut, cocoa, and palmyra palm. During our visit on 29th December, we learned about its extensive germplasm collection, which includes 445 coconut, 515 cocoa, and 178 arecanut accessions, as well as the International Coconut Gene Bank for South Asia located at Kedu, Karnataka. We explored the Tissue Culture Lab, where we learned innovative techniques utilizing coconut embryos and arecanut inflorescences for plant propagation. In the Entomology Lab, we studied key coconut pests, including the rhinoceros beetle and red palm weevil across their life stages. At the Post-Harvest Technology Lab, we observed the production of virgin coconut oil, coconut chips, and coconut sugar, along with the specialized machinery used. The institute also demonstrated a coconut-based multi-story cropping system, integrating crops like black pepper, banana, pineapple, bay leaf, and nutmeg, showcasing sustainable and efficient land use practices. The Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, Coimbatore, chaired by Dr. V. Geeta Lakshmi, is a leading institution in agricultural research and innovation. During our visit on 31st December, we explored the TNAU Botanical Garden, where we learned about diverse plant species, landscaping techniques, and their role in biodiversity conservation. We also visited various orchards, including banana, papaya, guava, and grape, gaining insights into pest and disease management, as well as their extensive germplasm collections. The coconut block highlighted germplasm conservation of coconut, turmeric, and coriander. TNAU has developed numerous high-yielding and disease-resistant varieties across fruits, vegetables, and spices, and is actively working on climate-resilient crops, post-harvest technologies, and sustainable practices, showcasing its pivotal role in advancing agriculture and addressing global challenges. Government Botanical Garden, Ooty. The Government Botanical Garden, established in 1848, is a sprawling 22-hectare garden situated on the lower slopes of Dodh-Beta Peak in Udgamandalam, Ooty, Tamil Nadu. Maintained by the Tamil Nadu Horticulture Department, the garden is renowned for its terraced layout, lush green lawns, and rare tree species like the cork tree. It also features a remarkable 20-million-year-old fossilized tree, an Italian-style garden with a pool, and vibrant flowering bushes. The fern house with an extensive fern collection and the rich variety of orchids are major attractions, making the garden a hub for plant enthusiasts and tourists alike. Dodh-Beta Tea and Chocolate Factory. Dodh-Beta, the highest mountain in the Nilgiri range at 2,637 meters, offers breathtaking views and is a prominent tourist destination near Ooty. Located on the Ooty-Kotagiri Road, it also houses the Dodh-Beta Tea and Chocolate Factory, where visitors can learn about the production of tea and chocolate. The factory provides a unique opportunity to observe the manufacturing processes firsthand and purchase freshly made products. The combination of scenic beauty and a behind-the-scenes glimpse into local industries makes this a memorable experience for visitors. During our visit to the University of Horticultural Sciences, Bangalore, we explored advanced laboratories, including the Biotechnology Lab, equipped with DNA fingerprinting tools, spectrophotometers, and ultra-low temperature freezers, and the Tissue Culture Lab, focused on banana tissue culture and ornamental plant propagation in the experiential learning program. The field visit to the Biodiversity Heritage Park, funded by Bioversity International, showcased a collection of 250 fruit varieties from 36 families, featuring exotic species like hawk plum, kokum, miracle fruit, and velvet apple, emphasizing plant conservation and sustainable horticultural practices. The Brindavan Garden, near Krishna Aradsagra Dam in Mysore, Karnataka, is a 60-acre formal terrace garden established in 1927 by Sir Mirza Ismail and designed by Gustav Hermann Krumbiegel. Managed by the Kaveri Irrigation Corporation, it features terrace layouts with vibrant foliage, flowering plants, topiary sculptures, pergolas, and a musical fountain synchronized with music. The garden's meticulous landscaping, including structured terraces, water features, and artistic plant arrangements, provides valuable insights into blending aesthetics with functionality in garden design, making it an inspiring destination for tourists and nature enthusiasts. The ICAR Indian Institute of Horticultural Research, Bangalore, led by Dr. Tusar Kanti Behera, is a hub of horticultural innovation, maintaining over 12,000 genotypes and developing 328 plus varieties across 54 crops. During our visit on 4th January, we explored the custard apple orchard, focusing on the interspecific hybrid Arka Sehen, which requires hand pollination and faces challenges like stone fruit disorder due to low temperatures. Observations included diverse crops varieties of mango, jackfruit, dragon fruit, pomegranate, passion fruit, and avocado, where we learned about strange flowering behavior of avocado. Flower varieties such as Arka Pride Rose and Arka Tejas Carnation highlighted IIHR's advancements in floriculture. The visit offered valuable insights into advanced horticultural practices, varietal development, and crop-specific challenges. As we conclude this transformative journey through the Rural Horticulture Work Experience Program, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Manish Srivastav, Dean of the College of Horticulture and Forestry, and Dr. Manoj Kundu, RHWE Coordinator, for their invaluable guidance and support. We also thank the dedicated faculty members who contributed to making this program a success. From engaging with farmers to exploring cutting-edge technologies and experiencing diverse agricultural systems across India, this program has provided us with the skills and confidence to address real-world challenges. With a holistic understanding of rural development, sustainability, and innovation, we are ready to contribute to the growth and future of India's horticultural sector.